Hello guys, my name is Mugisha Emmanuel and welcome you to this YouTube channel, Arts&Crafts. Well, in case you're new here, please subscribe, consider subscribing so that you don't miss any amazing skill on this very channel. And please don't forget to visit our previous videos because you'll be missing a lot if you don't visit them. So, well, today we are going to be learning something different. We are going to be learning something absolutely new. We are going to be learning how to make a tissue holder out of beads. And remember, don't miss this because it's going to be amazing, and watch it till the end. Let's start. Guys, here we are. We have our materials with us. We have our beads. Hope you can see them. We have two colors of the beads. This is sky blue and this is white color. Yes, so we are going to be using more of sky blue. Yes, then a little of white to add into the design. Yes, now we have our string. Yes, which is 0.90 millimeters. Hope you can see it. Yes, so this is the size of the string we shall be using. Now we have our cutter. Yes, obviously for cutting off the unwanted parts of the string when you're finishing the piece. Yes, so remember we are making a tissue holder. Now remember, this is part of the tissue holder that you are going to be making. This is part of it, how it looks like. Yeah, so the first process, we shall be making two of these, the same. We are going to be making two of these. So we already have one here. Then I'm going to make the same like this so that you can see how I made it. Yes, so after that, you join them together. So that it forms a tissue holder. It can hold the tissue properly. Yes, so we are going to first make the same as this so that you can learn how I managed to make this first. Then we shall be able to get two pieces, then we join them together to make the piece. Yes, so we can start. So what you begin with, you begin by chopping off the string. You get your string, size of your string you want. You cut it from the string that you have. Yes, so the first process, we are going to begin by creating this. We are going to begin by creating this part here, this part of the bead here. Yes, we're going to start with white, then we go all along round until we finish the piece. Yes, so we can put this aside as we're trying to make the same as this. Then at the end we shall bring them back together, then we join them. So I'm going to show you how we start. So you get your string. Then after getting your string like this, then you start with color white. So the first thing you do is to first put 10 beads. You put 10 beads into the string. Yes, you put 10 beads. These are 3, 4. So we have 5. Sorry, it was almost falling. 6. We have 7. We have 8. 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are 9 beads. Remember, we've said we are going to put 10. So that means the last bead is tied with. So you tie with the last bead, which is the 10th. You put it into one string, then you cross over it with the other edge of the string like this. Then you pull. Then you try to pull. Yes, try to pull like this. So when you pull, it brings this shape, a round shape of course. It brings the round shape like that. So what you do, you make sure the string is balanced. All sides of the string are balanced, like they're on the same level. You try to put them on the same level together. So like that. So you consider the edges, so the edges on the same level. So what you do now, so you come back here where your beads are. So here we have our first step here. So the second step we are going to be taking is now to create the other round design. So what you do here, we are going to be considering 5 and 4 patterns. How? We are going to be considering 5 beads and 4 beads, 5 beads, 4 beads, 5 beads, 4 beads. So I'm going to show you how we can do it. So right now here we have our 1 bead here. This is 1 bead. So we have to make sure, I'm going to decide to start to, you can either decide to start with 4 or 5 beads. So I'm going to start with 5 beads. I already have 1 here. So I'm going to start with 5. How many do I remain with? Make 5, I remain with 4. So what do I do? So what you do here, you first put your sky blue bead. Hope you can see the sky blue bead like that. You first put sky blue. Yes, after that, so don't worry about the loosening of the beads onto the string. So after that, you put your white bead. Put your white bead like that. So these are already fury, 1, 2 fury. Yes, then again you bring in white. Then you bring in white. Yes, after bringing in white, then you tie with the sky blue. You see, you tie with sky blue. So to make them 5, you know. So you're going to see how it's going to be. You tie it with the sky blue like that. Tie it, you pull, make sure you pull. So you pull, don't worry about the string, you pull. So when you pull, this is the shape. So when you pull, this is how it becomes. Hope you can see it. So when you pull, this is how it becomes. So what you're going to do now, you're going to put this lower side of the string into the next, to enter into the next bead, which is this one. So it's going to enter into the next bead. You're going to see it's the lower string, so it's going to enter into the next bead like that. See, then you pull, then you pull, then you pull. It just entered into the next bead like that. Yeah, so what you're going to do next, is, now here we already put 5 beads. Hope you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are going to put 2 beads to make 4. Remember, I said you're going to be considering 5, 4, 5, 4 pattern, you know. So those are 5 beads, 4 beads, 5 beads, 4 beads. So right now we are going to make 4 beads, right? So already we have 2 beads here. The string is crossing over them. So what you do first put the white bead for the second step. You put the white bead first. Yes. After putting the white bead, then you bring in the sky blue. You tie with it to make 4 beads. You know. Yes. So you bring in, then you pull to make the 4 beads. What you can see. Then you pull to make the 4 beads. So hope you can see how it has become now. So this is 5, 4, 5, 4. Then you bring in this lower string. You put again into there. Make sure you be pulling your string very well so that it becomes a bit hard. So you bring in the lower string. You put into the next bead. Next bead like this. This. Yes. So you make sure you put into the next bead like that. So we are going to be continuing this process over and over until we reach to this point. Remember, we are considering 5 beads, 4 beads, 5 beads, 4 beads until we reach. So we are going to do the same process. So guys, this is how the design becomes. This is our middle part. Yes, this is how our design is. Now we are finishing the design of it. Now when you're finishing, this is how you do. You use this lower part of the string to enter into these 2 beads after putting into this one, the white one. Yes, you you bring it upward into this blue bead. After that, then you remain with this gap here, whereby you fill it with one bead. Yes, to make the 5-4-5-4 pattern. So you bring in the white bead like this, then you tie it with a string. Like this, you cross them over into that one bead. Yes, then you pull, try to pull like this, and you pull. So hope you can see now, it's becoming the 5-4-5-4-5-4 pattern up to here. Yes, so what we do now we are going to, you can see from our piece here, now we are going into this part whereby you're going to use sky blue to design this part here. So here we are going to only be using sky blue until we reach this upper part. So for this one, you're going to be using sky blue over for 2 times. Yes, then we finish. So what you're going to do now, so when you're starting here, remember now here we are considering 4 beads. We are considering 4 beads. Remember now, we are going to be considering 4 beads all over and over. So these are 2 beads already. And remember we are using, you can extend your beads nearer, just like that. Remember we are using the 4 beads pattern. So you're going to do like this, then you pull. This is when you're beginning. So these are 4 beads. So after that, when you use 4 beads like that, then you put this lower string to enter into this into the next bead. Yes, use this lower string to enter into the next bead like that. Then you pull, then you pull. So when you pull, then remember now here you already have 2 beads here, whereby the string is crossing them over. So you're going to consider again 2 beads. Remember we are using 1 color for now. You're going to consider these 2 beads now to make 4. Yes, so we are going to first put 1 inside, then you tie with this. Then you tie, you pull like that. Yes. So when you reach this side, so after putting twice, when you reach this side of it, remember here the beads, the lower part is formed of 5 beads, the 5 beads pattern, you know. So what you do here when you reach in the middle of the 5 beads pattern like this, before putting this string into the next bead, what you do, you again include 3 beads like this. You can, let me show you. So you first put 2 of them like this into the string. After putting 2 beads, then you bring the 3rd one you tie with to make 4 beads, you know. Then you make 4 beads like this. Then you pull like this, pull like this. So hope you can see now. Then you pull. This is how it becomes before you put it to the next bead. So after that, you have to put it into the next bead. So you bring it this lower string, you put it into the next bead like this, into the next bead like this. Then you put it into the next bead. This is how it becomes. Hope you can see now. So after that, this is how it becomes. After that, remember there are already 2 beads. So we are going to consider 2 more beads to make the 4 beads pattern. So you bring in 2 beads. You first put the first one, then the second one you tie with it. So you're going to see how it's going to be formed. Then you pull. So in case you haven't understood this process, you can repeat the video over and over so that you can be able to understand very well. So now here we have put 2 beads. I hope you can see now how it is. Now right now we are going to put this string into the next bead because we haven't yet reached in the middle of this 5 beads pattern, you know. So we are going to bring this lower string, you put it into the next bead like that. Yes, then you pull like that. So this is how it becomes. Hope you can see. Now we already have 2 beads. Now we are going to include 2 more beads to make the pattern complete. So now we have 1 bead. Then you tie with the second bead like that. So we pull like this. Yes. So remember, now we are reaching this side, whereby you put the string into the next bead. Now I'm going to show you how you include in the middle of those 2 beads of whereby the lower part is the 5 beads pattern. Yeah, so here you include the 2 beads. Hope you can see. First put first one, the second one, then you bring the other string, you include it, then you tie, then you pull the 2 strings. So remember, when you reach here in the middle, yes, when you reach here in the middle, whereby the lower part is the 5 beads pattern, before putting this string into the next bead, so you first bring in the 3 beads to make 4. So you bring in, first put in 2, then you bring the 3rd one to make 4, then you pull like this. So hope you can see now it becomes, you can see now. So here you're free to put this lower string into the next bead. Now we are going to be repeating this process over and over. Yeah guys, now we are finishing, because I want to show you how we came up with this white design. Hope you understood from the beginning. Now what you are going to do now, as we are I'm going to show you how you finish up this part here. Yes, so what we do, remember we are considering 4 beads, these are already 2. So what you do now, remember you first put the upper bead, which is in white color, then you tie with a sky blue bead. Yes, you cross it over the 2 sides of the string, then you pull like this, you know. So you hope you can see now there are 4 beads. Yes, then you take this lower string into the next bead. Yes, so even before putting it into the next bead, what you do now before putting it into the next bead, that's how you have to be so careful here. So before putting it into the next bead, what you do, you remember here we are considering 4 beads, so you have to bring in 3 beads. So you first put 2 white beads like this, the 2 white beads, then after you bring in the sky blue bead like that, then you tie with it, this, I want to show you how it will come out. So you tie with it like that, so like that. Hope you can see now, hope you can see the edges, hope you can see this edge here, this edge here, and this one we have just created, and this one here. So then you bring in this lower string, put into the next bead like this, to the next bead like that, then you bring it back to the upper bead, insert it into the upper bead like that. So you come out with something like this. So here we are going to fill in this gap here. Remember we are considering 4 beads, this is already 3, so which we are going to use the white bead. So we're going to use the white bead to fill up this gap here. So this is white, so you pull it, yes, like that. Hope you can see now how we have formed it. So we have filled in this gap here with the white bead. So now we have our edges here. Hope you can see the edges. Yes, so which is almost the same with this, you know. So we have 2 pieces here. Now I'm going to show you how you tie the string. Then here you make sure you tie the string. So how do you tie? You pass it through the beads. Yes, you pass the string through the beads like this. Yes, so you can pass it through the beads like this, that. So you can cross them over into the same bead. So the string. So the matter here is all about tying. Now we are tying. Yes, so we are tying here. So we're tying here. So we're trying to tie here. Yes, so you keep on crossing it over and over into the beads to tie them. Cross it over and over into the beads. Like this. Tie it over and over. Over and over, like that. Then you bring in this string this side also. Sit over like that. Yes, so you can tie it as many times as you want. Yes, then we have the unwanted string here now. We are going to chop them off. You can bring this, get your cutter now, chop it off. Yes, you can throw them away now. Yeah. Chop them off, cut them off. Then this is our piece we just made. Yes, so we are bringing this as well. So now we have our two pieces here, which we are going to be using to make our piece. Remember, we are going to fold them this way. We're going to fold them. Now we are going to fold them this way. Hope you can see how it will be. Fold them this way, then you join them together. Join together with beads. Yes, so our piece will be standing. So we shall join them together. So now what we are going to do now, that's what you are going to do. Here, we are going to join them together. We already have them. There are two pieces already. You see? As you can see how they are. So we're going to join them on the sides, then and below, as you can see. So we are going to bring in our string. We're going to bring in our string. We are going to join the sides of them. So these are the sides. So we're going to begin with this part here. So how do you begin? You can begin any side of your choice. So I'm going to begin from here. So include, you insert the string into the beads. So both sides, this side of the string, the art piece, and the other side of the other part of it. So you can bring in even the side of this. You can try to bend the piece like that, so that the string goes inside. So now you can try to pull. So what you do now we are going to consider this color, the sky blue. So before you insert it into the other part of the piece, you first put in one bead like this. Remember, after inserting it into the other part of the piece, so then you bring in this side. So you choose any edge you want of the art piece. So you can bring this edge here. So you make sure it goes inside very well, like this. Yes, so you can bend it so that it enters very well, like that. Then you pull. So you can bring this side also. So you pull. So when you pull, it comes this way. So you make sure the strings are on the same level. So you try to balance them very well. So like this. So this is how it becomes. So now we are going to continue this process as we are trying to cover. So you're going to fill this gap with beads. So, but you're going to be using one bead at a time. This. Then you pull. See? Then you pull like this. Then you get the string. Hope you can see very well. Then you insert it into the lower, into the next lower bead of each part of the piece. Yes, even this on this side, on this other part of the art piece. So insert the string like this. After that, you can try to pull. Then you bring in again one bead, this. Then you insert it. Then you pull. Like that. So hope you can see it's the same process. So you can try to continue the same process until you reach the end of it. So guys, when you after closing it with the beads, this is how it becomes. You can see it's now joined. So what we are going to do now, we are going to also join this other side of it, the opposite side, to make it curved like this. You can see. So we're going to also join this side of it. Yes. So we are going to consider the same process we used here. So you bring in another string and just cut off a small part of the string. Yes, so we are going to consider also the same process this side. So remember what we began with. We began by putting one side of the string into one side of the art piece like this. Yeah, so you first bring in, before you include it into the other side of the art piece, you first put in the bead like this. So putting in, then you bring in, you pull the other side of the string like this. So then you insert the string like this, then you pull. So hope you can see that. So make sure that the same strings on the same level, like that. So after doing that, then consider the same process. Now you bring in the other string, set it into the other bead. So consider one bead like this. So bring in the other side of the string, then you then you pull like this, pull. So you consider this same process over until you reach the end of it. Here we are, guys. Now we are going to level up this lower side of the art piece. So we're going to level once to make it a bit longer so that we make the fine base of it. So we are going to start. We are going to get our string. Bring in our string. Okay, so you choose any bead of your choice you want, like this. So make sure the string on the same level. So you can same level like this, same level like that. So what you do now, we are going to try to level up. We are going to level up this lower base. So what we do, we first put in the glue. Yes, like this. So you're going to consider 4 beads, then white, then you tie with glue. Tie with glue. Like this, you tie with glue, then you pull. You pull the string like this. Pull the string like this. So hope you can see how it's coming. Then you'll get this lower string. You put it into the next bead. Next bead like this. Then you pull. Try to pull like this. Yes, so you make sure the strings are on the same level. Try to pull. Try to pull like this. Yes, so consider 2 beads. So remember, you first put the white bead. Then you tie with blue bead. So you're considering 2 beads, white and blue. So you first put the white, then you tie with the blue. the blue bead like this. So that's how it's going to be. So you take this lower string, put to the next bead like that. So you consider this same process over and over until you reach up to this end of it. So guys, after putting this first part here, hope you can see it. Now we are going to add another part which will be covering up this empty space here. You can see it. So after putting the last bead like this, so you get any side of the string. So let me use this side whereby you put it into the next bead like this. Yes, put it into the next bead. After doing that, remember now we shall be considering 5 beads. Yeah, here I've been considering 4 beads. Now here we shall be considering 5 beads. So you already the string is crossing into 2 beads. So what we are going to do now, we will be considering 5 beads. We shall first get our sky blue, 1 bead which is in blue. So we get our white, it's our white bead. Then get our blue, then we tie with it like this. Then you tie with it, which is here. Then you pull, try to pull, you tie with it. So it becomes like this. So hope you can see now. So make sure it's lowering like that. So you get this lower string. You put it insert it into these next 2 beads. So this is the first one, then the second one, like this. Yes, so like that. Then you pull. Yes, so after pulling, you make sure you arrange the beads properly. Yeah, so that you can be able to sit down like that. You can see it can be able to sit down. So what you're going to do now, we are going to continue the same process. Shouldn't worry, as long as it can be able to sit down. Hope you are seeing. So what we are doing now, here we already have our 3 beads. What you're going to do now, you're going to be adding 2 beads now because you're already crossing 2 beads. So that's already 1 bead with that white. Then you bring in your blue bead, which you're going to tie with. Bring in the blue colored bead, then you tie with it like this. So you tie with it. Yes, hope you can see how it's becoming. So we bring in this lower string to cross over these 2 beads, these 2 next beads. Yes, like this, like this. It's going to it just crossed over to the next 2 beads. So it's making it to be crossing over 3 beads. Hope you can see them, the 3 beads. Now what we are going to do now, we are going to be bringing these other 2 beads to make 5 beads. So we first put in the white bead, then you tie with the blue bead. Yes. Hope you can see the process. So tie with the blue bead like this. Yes. So we bring in this last string still to cross over these 2 next beads. 2 next beads. This. Yes. So we bring in the 2 beads. So we are going to continue this same process until we finish. Guys, here after considering the 5 beads, what we do now, here we are finishing. We are going to put the last part here, the last bead. Yes, so we are going to you utilize this lower part of the string to cross over the 2 beads. It's going to cross over the 2 beads. So this is the first one. Then crosses over the second one. Second one like this. Yes. Then you try to pull this. Then it's going to come up again this side. It's going after crossing over the 2 beads. Hope you can see. So it's coming up again. It's going to come up again like this, upward like this. Yes, to create that shape of it. Yes. So what you're going to do now? What you're going to do? So you shouldn't worry about this part of it bending like that. So what you're going to do now? We are going to use this one bead to cover up this empty space here. Hope you can. Going to use this empty. You're going to use one bead to cover up this empty space here. So we're going to use this white bead. So we're going to use a white bead. We're going to use the white bead like this. Then bring in the other side of the string. Then you tie. Just like that. So I hope you can see this white circle. You can see that. Yes, so you can try to fix it very well. So shouldn't worry about how it looks like as long as it can stand. So hope you can see it can make a stand. So what you're going to do now, you have to make sure now you tie this string. You tie the string. So tie the string. So tie the string. You pull. Tie the string. Pull. Bring in the other side of the string, so try to tie it like that. Go like this. So continue like that. So you bring in this string here. So you pass it over the beads until you have your final piece ready. So press like that. So even bring this side of the string. Like this, just like that. Then you cross it. So the aim here is to tie your art piece to make it a bit firm. Yes, so the essence here is to cross the string, both sides of the string into the beads to make it more firm. So you can see now it's becoming more firm. So right now, what you are going to do now, you're going to chop off this part, the unwanted string. So we're going to get our cutter and bring it, tie the unwanted, and cut off the unwanted parts of the string, like that. So unwanted parts of the strings are done. So what you do now, so you can make your art piece stand, whereby you can now add in your tissues inside. Yes, beautiful, right? You can see the designs. Yes. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you have enjoyed today's lesson, whereby we are from making a tissue holder out of beads. Yes, and in case you do want to know anything concerning beadwork, let me know in your comments. Please comment so that I can know what to do about it. Yes, and in case you do want to reach out to me, you can follow me on my Instagram, Craft. You can follow me on Twitter, Craft. Yes, and remember, don't forget to subscribe. So see you next time for the next lesson. Ciao, ciao.